When you think about Amazon, it's kind of staggering. It started as an online bookstore, and now it's this global behemoth that's into everything from cloud computing with AWS to your weekly groceries. The question is, how? How did they pull that off? Well, today we're going to go under the hood and deconstruct the unique management system that fuels all that constant growth and innovation. Let's dig in. So that's the real million-dollar question, isn't it? This kind of success isn't just about one brilliant product or a single visionary founder. No way. There has to be something deeper, something repeatable, that allows a company to dominate for so long, year after year. And here's the answer. It's not a single magic bullet. It's a complete, interconnected operating system. Think of it like the software for the company, a set of principles, specific mechanisms, and cultural beliefs that guide literally every decision. So let's break down its most crucial parts. First things first, the absolute foundation of the entire system. You have to understand this piece before anything else makes sense. It all starts right here.
Now, you hear a lot of companies say they're customer-focused, right? But Amazon takes this to a totally different level. They call it customer obsession. And what it means is they don't start by looking at a competitor or some cool new technology. Nope. They start with a real customer problem and then work backwards from there, relentlessly inventing a solution.
And to make sure this isn't just some nice-sounding phrase on a poster, they do something pretty remarkable. In many high-level meetings, they literally place an empty chair at the table. It's this powerful, constant, physical reminder of who they're really working for. It forces everyone in that room, in every discussion, to ask, so what would the customer think about this? Okay, so this is where that obsession becomes a real, tangible process. And it's completely counterintuitive. Before anyone writes a single line of code for a new product, the team has to write the press release that will announce it to the world. They have to imagine the future and explain the customer benefits so clearly that it's actually newsworthy. Then they write the FAQ, anticipating every customer question. And here's the kicker. If they can't nail the press release and the FAQ, the product doesn't even get built. Period. So if customer obsession is the foundation, think of these next parts, the mechanisms, as the engine. This is what provides the raw power for all that constant invention. And the main goal of this engine is pretty simple: velocity. We're not talking about reckless speed, but about making fast, high-quality decisions. In Amazon's world, speed is a massive competitive advantage, and they've actually engineered specific tools to make it happen. To get that velocity, they use this brilliant mental model. They classify every single decision as either a one-way door or a two-way door. One-way doors are the huge bet-the-company decisions that are almost impossible to reverse. You analyze those very, very carefully. But you know what? Most decisions are two-way doors. You can just walk right back through if you don't like what's on the other side. The mandate for those is simple. Make them fast, and if you're wrong, you just course correct. This one idea unlocks a huge bias for action across the company. They've also totally reinvented the meeting. Get this, no more PowerPoint. Instead, if you want to propose a new idea, you have to write a detailed 6-page narrative memo. Meetings actually start with everybody sitting in silence, reading the document for 15, maybe 20 minutes. This forces the writer to have absolute clarity of thought, and it makes sure the discussion is about the idea, not about how charismatic the presenter is. And to kill bureaucracy before it can even start, they build their organization around this famous concept. The rule is, a team should be small enough that you can feed the entire group with 2 large pizzas. It's brilliant, right? It keeps communication simple, it gives people a real sense of ownership, and it lets teams move fast and on their own. Okay, so you've got the foundation and you've got the engine. But what about the fuel? What keeps this whole thing running? Well, that comes down to the culture of builders they've so deliberately created. At Amazon, quality control starts with exactly who they hire, and the bar raiser program is absolutely key here. These are specially trained interviewers who aren't even on the hiring team, and they have full veto power. Their only job is to make sure that every single new hire is better than 50% of the current employees in that same role. Just think about that. The entire practice is designed to continuously raise the average talent level with every single person they bring on board. Beyond just who they hire, it's all about the mindset they expect. Amazon wants owners, not renters. An owner thinks about the long-term value for the entire company, not just their team's short-term goals. An owner would never, ever say, "That's not my job." This culture of ownership isn't an accident. It's actively coached and nurtured. Now, this one can be misunderstood. It's not about micromanagement. It's an expectation that leaders don't lose touch with what's really going on. They need to be able to audit and inspect things down to the lowest level of detail so they have a full ground truth understanding before they make a big decision.
This powerful internal motto pretty much captures the essence of their whole decision-making culture. Look, they value judgment and intuition, but that judgment has to be informed by data. Opinions are fine. Everyone has one. But data wins arguments. It's the compass that guides the entire operation.
And finally, let's talk about the big philosophy, the thing that wraps this entire system together and keeps it running at full throttle. It's called the Day One Mandate. Whoa. This quote really gets to the heart of Amazon's paranoia about success. They believe success is a terrible teacher because it creates complacency. So the entire company is organized around this constant, relentless fight to avoid what they call Day Two. So what does it even mean to be a Day One company? It means you treat every single day like it's the very first day of your startup. It's about being nimble, it's about taking smart risks, and it's about obsessing over the customer as if you have everything to lose. It is a daily, intentional battle against all the forces that make big companies slow and irrelevant. And what are they fighting against? What does this dreaded Day Two actually look like? Well, first, it's stasis. The moment a company stops moving, stops experimenting, it's already in Day Two. Next up, bureaucracy. You know, when following the process becomes more important than getting the right outcome, yep, you're in Day Two. And finally, complacency. Believing your own hype. Thinking that yesterday's success somehow guarantees tomorrow's relevance. That is the final and definitely the most dangerous sign of Day Two. And that really leaves us with this one powerful question. When you look at these principles, that obsession with the customer, those high-velocity decisions, a culture of builders, it's an incredible lens to examine any company. It's not just about how Amazon works. It's a blueprint for relentless innovation that really makes you wonder, what day is it for everyone else?